Welcome to Rock Your Fashion. Have you ever put on a midi skirt you love and then stood there wondering, which shoes actually work with this? Because there's something about a midi skirt. It has this quiet confidence to it, this effortless elegance. But the wrong shoe can make a beautiful midi skirt feel heavy or awkward. So today I'm sharing 7 midi skirt and shoe style secrets that make women over 50 look elegant, polished, and incredibly chic. And stay until the end, because the final secret solves the biggest problem most women over 50 have with heels. Let's start. Secret number 1, the pointed toe slingback. If there's one shoe that instantly makes a midi skirt look more elegant, it's this one, a pointed toe slingback, because this shoe does something very subtle visually, but it changes the entire silhouette. That pointed front elongates the leg line instantly, and the open back keeps the outfit feeling light and feminine, instead of heavy or overly formal. It's especially beautiful with midi skirts because midi skirts already create length through the body. So when you pair them with a shoe that continues that long line rather than interrupting it, everything suddenly looks taller, leaner, and more refined. And if you're petite, this shoe is genuinely one of your best friends. That pointed toe does half the work for you before you've even chosen your skirt. And here's where many women accidentally get it wrong. They pair a beautiful midi skirt with a very round, bulky, heavy shoe. And the softness of the skirt suddenly loses its elegance. The outfit starts feeling grounded instead of elevated. But a pointed slingback brings back that sharpness instantly, especially with satin or pleated midi skirts. And even with a flowy printed midi, the pointed toe stops the outfit from looking too soft. It gives it an edge. And the heel doesn't need to be high at all. In fact, a small kitten heel often looks more modern and wearable over 50 than an extremely high stiletto. Because elegance is not about struggling to walk beautifully. It's about looking effortless. Secret number 2, the white sneaker. Now here's the good news. You absolutely can wear sneakers with a midi skirt after 50 and still look elegant. In fact, this combination can look incredibly modern and chic when the balance is right. Because not every sneaker works with a midi skirt. The mistake many women make is choosing sneakers that are too chunky, too sporty, or too visually heavy. And the moment the shoe becomes bulky underneath a flowing midi skirt, the entire outfit starts feeling heavier. What works beautifully instead? Clean white sneakers with a slimmer, more refined shape. Minimal details. Clean lines. Nothing overly chunky or athletic, because they bring ease to the outfit without overwhelming it. This works especially well with cotton midi skirts, knit midi skirts, and softer A-line styles. A denim midi or a linen midi. Honestly, this is where white sneakers feel most at home. Just avoid pairing them with very formal fabrics like satin or silk. The contrast works against you there. And here's a small detail that changes everything. A little ankle visibility. When there's a bit of space between the sneaker and the hem of the skirt, the outfit instantly feels lighter and more modern, especially for petites. And one last thing. Fresh white sneakers almost always look more polished with midi skirts than overly athletic trainers, because the goal here isn't sporty, it's relaxed elegance. Secret number 3, the nude shoe. This is one of the simplest styling tricks, but it makes a huge difference with midi skirts. A nude shoe. Because when the colour of the shoe blends more closely with your skin tone, the eye continues downward without interruption. And that creates the illusion of longer legs instantly. Now, this doesn't only mean nude pumps. It can be a nude slingback, a beige sandal, a soft taupe flat, or even a tonal wedge in summer. But here's something worth knowing. Nude is not just one universal beige. Your nude is personal. Fair skin, pale blush, or champagne. Medium skin, warm caramel, or taupe. Deeper skin, rich cognac, or soft bronze. The closer the shoe is to your actual skin tone, the more powerful the effect. Because midi skirts naturally cut across the leg at mid-calf, the shoe becomes incredibly important visually. This works beautifully with monochrome midis, flowy or sheer fabrics, and especially printed skirts, where a nude shoe anchors the outfit without competing with it. And here's what's interesting. The shoe almost disappears visually, but the woman suddenly looks taller, lighter, and more elegant. Tiny styling detail, huge visual difference. By the way, if you're enjoying these tips, hit like and subscribe to Rock Your Fashion, because style doesn't disappear with age, and neither does a confident woman. Now let's continue. Secret number 4, the ankle boot. Ankle boots with midi skirts can look incredibly chic after 50. But the shape of the boot matters more than most women realise, because the wrong ankle boot can instantly shorten the leg line and make the entire outfit feel heavier. And the biggest mistake? A boot that cuts too high on the ankle with a midi skirt that falls too low on the calf. There's suddenly no visual breathing room between the skirt and the boot. Everything starts feeling visually compressed, especially on petites. And if you're petite, that sliver of ankle between boot and hem is not optional. It's everything. What works beautifully instead is a sleeker ankle boot, a slightly pointed toe, a slimmer shape through the ankle, and a boot that sits closer to the foot rather than looking bulky. Because the moment the boot becomes too round or too heavy, it starts fighting with the softness of the midi skirt. And here's another secret. Midi skirts often look more elegant with ankle boots when a little ankle is still visible. That tiny bit of space creates separation and lightness. Especially with satin midi skirts, pleated skirts, straight knit skirts, and softer winter midi styles. And when it comes to colour, tonal combinations work beautifully. Black boots with black skirts, taupe boots with camel tones, chocolate brown with soft neutrals. Because when the colour flows, the silhouette feels longer and far more refined. Secret number 5, the strappy sandal. There's something about a delicate strappy sandal with a midi skirt that instantly feels feminine and elegant, especially in spring and summer. Since midi skirts already have movement and softness, a lighter sandal keeps that same feeling all the way down the outfit. Now the key here is delicacy. The more minimal the sandal feels, the more refined the entire silhouette becomes. Think thin straps, an open shape, nothing too heavy around the ankle, and if you're petite, a strappy sandal is one of your best options with a midi skirt. Because it's so visually light, it never interrupts the line. It just quietly continues it. The moment a sandal becomes too thick or overly chunky, it can start weighing down the fluidity of the skirt. That's the mistake to avoid. This combination works really well with satin midi skirts, linen skirts, floral midis, and any softer flowing fabric. And heel height is not the important part here. In fact, a lower elegant sandal often looks more modern and effortless than an extremely high heel. Because this look is about ease, that quiet kind of elegance that doesn't feel overdone. And metallic sandals work beautifully here too. Think soft gold, champagne, warm nude tones. They catch the light softly and instantly elevate even the simplest midi skirt outfit. Secret number 6, the loafer. If you've ever noticed how Parisian women make a midi skirt look effortlessly chic, this is often the shoe they're wearing. A loafer, because loafers bring a little structure and sharpness to the softness of a midi skirt, and that contrast is what makes the outfit feel so elegant. Loafers tend to work best when the midi skirt has a cleaner silhouette. Think elegant pleats, straight cuts, soft knits, tailored shapes, and a denim midi skirt. But the secret is choosing a loafer that feels refined rather than heavy. A sleeker shape, a slightly elongated toe, clean lines, because overly chunky loafers can overpower the movement of the skirt and make the outfit feel visually heavier. That's the mistake most women don't realise they're making. And if you're petite, keep the loafer slim and low. Anything too bulky at the foot will visually ground you rather than lift you. A sleek loafer in a tonal colour to your skirt is your best friend here. And here's where this combination looks particularly beautiful. With simple styling, a fine knit, a tucked shirt, a structured blazer. Very effortless, very French feeling without trying too hard. And in cooler months, black loafers with black tights create a beautiful, uninterrupted line that instantly elongates the silhouette. It's one of those quiet styling formulas that always looks expensive, even when the outfit itself is very simple. Secret number 7. The block heel. Sometimes you want a little height, but you also want to actually enjoy wearing your shoes. That's where the block heel comes in, because a block heel gives you lift, stability, and elegance all at once, without the wobble, without the discomfort, without spending the afternoon thinking about your feet. And with midi skirts, it's often the perfect proportion. The slight height adjusts how the skirt falls on your body. It can prevent the hem from hitting at an awkward spot, and instead creates that beautiful grazing effect that looks so polished. But the secret is keeping the block heel refined rather than chunky. A squared-off heel, a sleek silhouette, a pointed or almond toe. Because the moment the heel becomes too thick or too platform-like, it starts competing with the skirt rather than completing it. That's the mistake to avoid. This works with straight midi skirts, tailored midi skirts, pleated styles, and especially with heavier fabrics like wool in autumn and winter. And if you're petite, a block heel is genuinely one of your most practical allies. Enough lift to elongate without the instability of a stiletto. You get the height. You keep the comfort. In terms of colour, neutral block heels in suede or leather work with virtually every midi skirt you own. Camel, black, cognac, warm taupe. These are the workhorses of an elegant wardrobe. Practical, but never frumpy. Because elegance doesn't have to hurt. So if pairing your shoes and favourite midi skirt have ever felt tricky after 50, I hope this video has changed the way you see them. Now, tell me in the comments, which secret felt most like you? Was it the nude shoe, the strappy sandal, or the ankle boots? If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to Rock Your Fashion. It really helps the channel grow. Until next time, stay confident, stay chic, and remember, style isn't an age, it's a mindset.